the first reports from the Bears very soon. The Bears bought the shuttered racetrack for $197 million 2 years ago.
New details on what a U.S. government crypto reserve might look like.
Marketplace Morning Report is supported by Bank of America. Bank of America is committed to helping businesses of all sizes make every move matter. Learn more at bankofamerica.com/banking-for-business.
From Marketplace, I'm Sabri Benishore, in for David Brancaccio. Hundreds of billions of dollars flowed into cryptocurrency markets in the past 24 hours or so after a Sunday morning post from President Donald Trump named 5 digital tokens to be included in a national crypto reserve. One reason the president gave was to elevate the crypto industry. But yesterday was the first time we got details of what exactly is going into it. The president's announcement comes ahead of a planned crypto summit at the White House on Friday. Marketplace's Nova Safo has more.
The 5 cryptocurrencies President Trump named are Bitcoin, Ether, XRP, Solana, and Cardano. It's unclear whether there might be others as well.
It's significant. It's the first time that he's talked about including more than Bitcoin in the reserve.
David Krause is Emeritus Professor of Finance at Marquette University and has written extensively about cryptocurrencies. He says the less familiar tokens Trump mentioned are designed for specific transactional purposes and make sense to include in a reserve. As for having a crypto reserve at the government level,
gold, oil make more sense as strategic reserves. Their utility values is much greater. Therefore, a strategic reserve of the size we're talking about here is more symbolic.
Trump has pledged to be a crypto-friendly president, and his family holdings include a stake in World Liberty Financial, a crypto platform. I'm Nova Safo for Marketplace.
Mortgage rates have been particularly volatile the last couple of years, and that's partly because they are influenced by so many things in the economy that don't always have much to do with buying a house. Treasury bills, inflation, investors' mood. Back in 2023, the average 30-year fixed-rate mortgage shot up to almost 8%, the highest in 2 decades. Then it came down to a little more than 6% last fall. And then it bounced back up above 7% this year, only to finally start to decline slightly the past few weeks. Despite all the moving around, one thing has been constant. Mortgage rates are high. And, as Marketplace's Mitchell Hartman reports, they're probably going to stay that way.
Given how much uncertainty there is about inflation, tariffs, and Fed policy right now, Mike Fratantoni at the Mortgage Bankers Association says the watchword for mortgage rates is fluctuation.
There may be times when we're closer to 6. There are going to be times when we're closer to or above 7.
He says the market's gradually adapting to higher mortgage rates. More sellers are putting their homes on the market, and more buyers are realizing
a rate in the low 6s is about as good as you're likely to do.
And what about the recent decline in mortgage rates to 6.75% in the latest report from Freddie Mac? Rose Quint at the National Association of Home Builders says it does improve affordability marginally.
But I think with high home prices, buyers are concerned.
NAHB recently reported that the monthly mortgage on a median-priced home now eats up 38% of a median family's income. Economists consider anything above 30% to be cost-burdened. I'm Mitchell Hartman for Marketplace.
All right, let's do the numbers. Dow, S&P, and NASDAQ futures are all up in the 2 to 7/10% range, with the Dow futures up 91 points. The yield on the 10-year Treasury is 4.240%.
Marketplace Morning Report is supported by Leesa. Leesa mattresses are designed and assembled in America. Plus, Leesa donates thousands of mattresses a year to shelters and those in need. LEESA.com. And by Progressive Insurance with Snapshot. Learn more about Snapshot at Progressive.com or 1-800-PROGRESSIVE. Snapshot not available in California or from all agents.
Around 20% of the U.S.'s electricity comes from renewables, another 20 from nuclear, but another 40 is from natural gas. So even as renewables have become a bigger part of the supply, natural gas has too. And along with that, so is the delivery of that gas to power plants via pipelines. That is according to the Energy Information Administration. And with electricity demand growing from AC in super hot summers, from data centers, from EVs, there may well be demand for more gas pipelines down the road. Marketplace's Elizabeth Trovall has that.
Our electric grid is getting cleaner. Yes, renewables are doing their part, but so is natural gas.
People have called it a bridge fuel because it is lower CO2 content than coal. It's pretty flexible in terms of its operations.
Ian Lang with the Colorado School of Mines says natural gas is a handy tool to mix with renewables.
You need a power plant that can sort of either ramp up or ramp down as wind and solar alter what it's doing like minute to minute. And so gas was seen as very easy to do that.
Natural gas is also plentiful, says University of Houston's Ed Hers.
Natural gas has become the leading resource for electricity generation following the advent of hydraulic fracturing and the tremendous supply of natural gas that we've been able to generate in the U.S.
Natural gas also comes out when you drill for crude oil, which we do a lot of in the U.S. these days. Natural gas is so abundant, it's even driven down electric bills. But Hers says only when that natural gas can get to where it needs to be.
There are a lot of communities around the U.S. that are not getting the cheapest supplies of electricity because they don't have access to natural gas distribution systems.
This is where transmission pipelines and pipeline companies are critical. Tom Sang is with Texas Christian University.
Let's just say you're out in Midland, Texas, and there's all these wells, right? There's hundreds of wells. Well, you don't connect a large pipeline to each well.
You connect them to a single point, and that goes through a giant transmission pipeline. And those transmission pipelines run underground across the country, almost like spider webs, mostly going directly to natural gas-fired power plants. These meet today's electricity demand, but
as we know, the demand for power is going to go up. We're going to need more natural gas supply, among other things. All right, so the question becomes, will we have to build out new transmission infrastructure to meet those needs?
as we see weather become more extreme and data centers and EVs become more popular, we may see more pipelines down the pipeline. I'm Elizabeth Troval for Marketplace.
And in New York, I'm Sabri Benishore with the Marketplace Morning Report. From APM, American Public Media.